Well, you guys, All Blacks vs Argentina. I was live pitch side and one hell of a game, wasn't it, guys? Whoa! Look, the first thing I noticed in the game before it even started pitch side really was sort of the warm-ups, and I thought that was quite interesting. I was pitch side watching the Argentinian team, and I just sort of thought that they were a little bit, maybe 1% down compared to the All Blacks. You could see they knew it was a big game, but it just felt like they were that 1% where, yes, it's a big game, but this is not the do or die, for our team. And then you look over the All Blacks and they really meant business in the warm-up. So those 1%ers are huge at test match level. The other one that I thought was quite interesting pitch side, look, the size of those Argentinian forwards. You see them in person, particularly those front rowers. My. And you just realise, yes, the Argentinian team is capable of taking on any international side physically. Yeah, the size of them, the power of them, I can see, especially if they get a bit emotional and get that energy running through their veins, they'll take on any international side in the world. Look, to the game, yeah, it was pretty good, that start, really. 35-3 at half-time to the All Blacks, but ultimately, the pitch side, the conditions were just dreadful, weren't they, guys? So the rain sort of stopped 15-20 minutes in, but my, it was bucketing down. But the All Blacks, they just did the basics well. They carried the ball well, and ultimately did some good basic passing. There was a good try with a good line run by Beauden Barrett. That was excellent to see. And ultimately, from the previous week, they just did the basics and executed really well, which is probably something they didn't do very well in Wellington. Yeah, but you just 35-3 at halftime. You got the feeling that it was going to be a good win for the All Blacks. Ultimately, that second half, there was a good try just after half-time. And then they changed it up a bit. Obviously, Beauden Barrett came into the first five. Yeah, and look, he looked good, but the All Blacks, they did look like they lost a bit of their gel and continuity with their game management, so that was interesting. And look, to the Argentinians, look, they really did throw it at the All Blacks, but the All Blacks defence was pretty staunch. You could just see that work off the ball and a number of phases the Argentinians were throwing at them, at the All Blacks defence, and they just weren't able to really crack the All Blacks defence the way they would have liked. So that was positive. Players to watch from me from the game. Look, guys, I'll throw this one out there anyway, but the first one was Ardie Savea, and again, when you pitch side, one game doesn't make a player great, but certainly last night, if he plays like that consistently, it will make him great. Ardie Savea, just every time he seemed to get the ball, no matter who he was running up against in Argentina, he was always making the advantage line, just brute power. And for me, it's a bit left field, but it got me thinking about in 2012 when I saw the Kobe Bryant play the LA Lakers. I don't know a lot about basketball, and I remember being pitch side of that game, and Kobe Bryant was able to get the basketball and he just beat everybody he played against with the basketball. Well, last night, Ardie Savea, I remember he was pretty much like that. I was able to compare him to Kobe Bryant. Again, pretty left field, and one game doesn't make a player great, but certainly I'm going to throw it out there, guys. If Ardie Savea keeps playing like he did last night, I think he'd be up for contention for World Player of the Year. He was immense, wasn't he, guys? The other players that I thought were good was first Damian McKenzie. It just seemed like his kicking, and whether or not this will change and develop him, but he found a way of kicking, sort of a kicking style that suited him last night. Sometimes he'd kick deep, sometimes he'd kick and he'd find grass. But ultimately last night, it was a style that suited him. And look, his game management on defence, look, he was superb, wasn't he, Damian McKenzie? And even in the interview, Razor said that's D-Mac's best game in the All Black jersey. So onwards and upwards for him. But yeah, look, pretty good performance in the end, and I think it shows that if the All Blacks play well on their night, they do have a number of other players that are genuinely world class as well. So positives there. Ultimately, a good 42-10 victory to the All Blacks. And back to the drawing board for Argentina. Guys, a pretty tough series coming up, though, against the Springboks. Look, it probably doesn't get any tougher playing them at Ellis Park, and then the following later, playing them at Cape Town. But, look, they're the world champions at the moment. They're a hell of a team, and, look, it's going to be a hell of a series, isn't it, guys? Guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and add any further comments you thought about the All Blacks vs Argentina game last night. Absolute blockbuster, wasn't it? But, yeah, good that the All Blacks won. Cheers.